So we are here at the KAPELICA gallery in Ljubljana, and behind me you can see the project The Transparency of Randomness, created in a collaboration, in a science and art collaboration together with VERA TOLAZZI. The installation consists of 27 transparent boxes, and each of these boxes is generating random numbers. So there's a magnet inside each box that transports a dice, so a dice you know from playing games, and rolls the dice over a surface and then collects the random number that is generated by rolling the dice. And in each of the boxes we put different natural material in order to include the randomness that is present in nature into the boxes. So, for example, if you would look at the leaves of a palm tree, you see that the leaves have a certain structure. So there's some kind of rule that determines how these leaves should grow. But if you take a closer look on this natural process, you see that there's also some randomness involved. And if you just pick one of these leaves, it's it has a random structure and has also a very unique structure. And by using all these different natural materials in our boxes as the ramp where the dice is rolled, we get very different characteristics in every box. Also the sound that is made when rolling the dice strongly depends on the material. So for example, we also have cotton or cork in one of the boxes. This creates hardly any noise. And we also have cinnamon sticks or slices of timbers or from slices of wood from a tree. And this creates a very rough sound, and so every box really has its unique characteristics. With this installation, we want to show the visitors that with random numbers you can actually do science. So the random numbers are a tool that are very often used in computations or simulations, or also in field of artificial intelligence or cryptography. So in a lot of technologies nowadays, random numbers play a very important role. And to show this, in a basic example, we collect all the random numbers generated by the installation and estimate the number pi. So the number pi is a very famous number known from calculating the area of a circle, and it's an infinite number, so it has infinite digits behind the decimal place, and so you never can calculate it exactly, or there doesn't exist an exact representation of this number. But there is an algorithm using random numbers with which you can approximate this number. And the more random numbers you use, the more precise you will be able to estimate the number pi more precise. And so with our installation, when we collect all these random numbers, we can do these calculations and show with this basic example how you could use random numbers in scientific calculations. So with all these collected random numbers, we calculate the number pi, and this can be done as follows. You place, or you draw a square and place a lot of random points inside the square, and then you also draw a circle inside the square and count how many of these random points lie within the square and how many lie within the circle. And this is an estimate for the area of the circle and the area of the square. And because there is the number pi involved in the area of the circle, you can, from this ratio of the numbers within the square and within the circle, you can estimate the number. And the more random points you place there, the more precise you can estimate it. And so we take these random numbers generated by the installation and and transform these random numbers to random points in this square. So every box has also an individual visualization. So with the random numbers created by each box, we also generate visualizations based on random walks. So this means it's a generative visualization where the outcome of rolling the dice influences this visualization. So for example, rolling a 1 means that this random walk should go one step up or one step to the left. Rolling a 2 means grow a little bit faster or grow a little bit slower, for example. And so you really get this shape that is growing based on this stream of random numbers. And this is also, so this random walk is also a very important simulation technique. So that is also used for example, for calculating the movement of bacteria in a liquid, or for calculating the movement of dust particles in the air. So with this visualization, we also want to show that that with random numbers you can create such movement that is also seen in nature, by, for example, in a liquid, by all the motion in the liquid and all the particles that are flowing in the liquid. So in every box there is an electromagnet located, and it's mounted with 4 strings that are connected to stepper motors. And so the motors can wind up or release the string, and with this the magnet can be moved everywhere in the box. And we also have a camera in every box that takes a picture of the rolled dice, and then with some image recognition algorithm we get the number that is rolled, and also the position where the die have to be picked up. And then the magnet, after rolling the die, the picture is taken, the number is recognized, and also the position recorded, and then the magnet goes there, picks up the dice again, moves up to the ramp, so on top of the ramp with the natural material, and drops the dice again. And this is a continuous process that is done on all the boxes. They are not synchronized, so every box is doing this process in its own time and its own rhythm. So you get it's kind of a very crowded movement sometimes. A lot of boxes are just taking the pictures. It's more silent compared to when all boxes, or when a lot of boxes start moving. And so you get a pretty unique atmosphere in this whole installation if you walk through it. And we also show on the table all the materials used in the installation, and so the visitors can also touch them and feel the surfaces that are used in the boxes, and to get a feeling for the different surfaces that are inside, and so to feel if they are fluffy or if they are very rough. So we try to use many different kind of surfaces, many different structures. Some of them are well known to the people, like coffee or lenses or chilies, and some of them are more exotic. And yeah, they all kind of have their individual characteristics and properties. So this whole project is an art and science collaboration, and for this I teamed up with VERA TOLAZZI, the artistic part of the installation, and I am more involved in all the technical stuff of the installation. But for myself, I'm more a theoretician, so I'm a theoretical physicist. So for constructing the boxes, it was really a huge learning process for both of us to really manage the technicalities that are needed. So we learned a lot of electronics, a lot of mechatronics, mechanical stuff, how you can use electronics boards and stepper motors in order to control the boxes. We also learned a lot about 3D printing, because a lot of parts for prototyping and also in the actual installation are 3D printed parts. Also, the conservation of the natural materials was an additional field that we needed to learn somehow. So some of the materials are just they are from our garden. Of course, we also had a lot of help from other people, so from colleagues at the university, and they also helped us a lot when we had questions about electronic stuff, or just to discuss how we can proceed and to get new input for the whole project.